was really interesting, and when I started looking into the character of Alpha. Alpha is Louis's third wife, and the story is A Wonderful World, and it's the Louis Armstrong story as told through the eyes of his four wives. So it starts in New Orleans, then it goes to with his first wife, and then it goes to Chicago, his second wife, and then I also meet Louis in Chicago, and I take him from his second wife, and we go on out to L.A. So and then as it goes, well, you'll have to see the rest. You'll have to see the play. But so in looking up Alpha, there wasn't a lot of information about Alpha, and his first wife in New Orleans, there's not a ton of information about her either. Of course, Louis wasn't that popular, so there wasn't a lot of press about her at that time. And it just so happened his second wife was an entertainer already in Chicago, and I want to say she might have recorded before meeting Louis, but she definitely had her own thing going on. So she had, there's history about her. As far as my character, she wasn't of any particular person of note. And then, of course, his last wife, who he lived out the rest of his life with, there's a lot of information about her because Louis was famous at that time, and of course she lived with him for all those years until he passed. So my character was really hard to find information about. You hear Louis talking about her in some of his biographies, and and he talks about her. So it was I don't want to say what he had to say about her, but he says some choice words about her. And then, and of course, I had to combine a little bit of that, a little bit of what the play's story was, and really find out who she was in between. And in actuality, the director and I had conversations about it, and along the way, his vision even changed for Alpha. And it could be that the actress who was before me brought a little something to different to the character than I did. The more we got into rehearsals, Chris suggested new things to me. So even 3 weeks into rehearsal, I was shifting and Alpha was changing, and it was really challenging to me because I'm not as I don't have a lot of years under my belt, so I was really stressing, and sometimes I feel like when we go back to it, I might still be stressing about it, just because I'm a perfectionist and I overthink everything, and so that's my tendency. So I have to watch myself, and sometimes I just have you just have to trust your gut and go for one thing and make the right choices, and that's what acting is about, is just making choices. So I am actually very, very excited, having taken off a couple months from the script, to go back to the script with what experience that I've been going through over these last 5 months, and really seeing who Alpha is at the end of what's going on right now, as in the country, and as to why we're not on stage right now. So it's always very exciting, and to be honest, with, of course, minor variations, your character is a little different every night. It's almost like when I'm singing on a concert stage. That song is always going to be a little different based on my interpretation that night compared to it was the week before. So you're within the lines, but I'm really excited, and it's such an exhilarating thing to be able to do live theater.